Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday, August 2nd. I'm at my campaign office in York. And I'm doing a little educational video for viewers out there. But behind me is the organizational chart for the state of Pennsylvania. It shows all the different agencies in Pennsylvania, and I'm going to explain it in a moment. Last week, the Senate passed a tax package and sent it over to the House. And many are talking that it really isn't, significant as far as taxes, and it's only going to be, and I use the word only going to be approximately $180 per home for Pennsylvanians in Pennsylvania. When July 1st, a lot of people started receiving their school tax bills. Those tax bills didn't go down, and they didn't stay the same. They went up, and I can assure you that 80% of the school tax bills in the state of Pennsylvania went up over last year. So add that on to $180. That is only $180. There's also an agency that's wildly out of control, and it's called the Department of Environmental Protection. The Department of Environmental Protection is now going around their state and requiring all municipalities to file forms called MS4, which has to do with sediment control for runoff. A lot of municipalities are now assessing stormwater fees, stormwater taxes, or they're adding that fee into their municipal taxes. So at the end of the day, when you add up $180, you add up the school tax increase and maybe your county tax, your municipal tax, and you add in potential stormwater fees, you could be talking an additional $750 to $1,000 per household in Pennsylvania. Now I want to show you where the problem really is. If I look behind me, this is the organizational chart. This is the state of Pennsylvania. These are the people, the Pennsylvania electorate. These are the people that elect the people below. So we elect judges. Judiciary is over here. Over here you have the General Assembly. Right in here you have the governor. And if you really look at this chart, the governor has oversight over all of this charted area, okay, in the state of Pennsylvania. And then he has this whole area. Okay? And I will tell you, the person responsible, solely responsible, these agencies, and not the legislature, is the governor. And right now, we have a governor that is not managing these agencies. Okay? Now, we have an agency over here. This is the Department of Corrections. The Department of Corrections is wildly out of control. Last year, there were over 20 corrections officers that made over $100,000 in overtime alone. I would say that's mismanagement. And their base salaries are probably in the $65,000 to $75,000 range. There was one guard, corrections officer, who made over $150,000, which is almost double his base salary. Now you have to realize this overtime spiking has an effect on their pension when they retire. Let's look at another agency, Department of Environmental Protection. Department of Environmental Protection is holding up a lot of permits. Right now there are over 600 permit applications sitting on DEP desks for natural gas wells to be approved so those wells can be drilled for natural gas. When those wells start producing natural gas, it produces revenue and taxes for the state of Pennsylvania. Over here, and this is the best, is the Department of Labor and Industry. The Auditor General recently did an audit in the first quarter of 2017, this year, that in 2016, the Department of Labor and Industry wasted, and I say wasted, $178 million. The Auditor General could not find where the money was spent. Folks, that means that he basically couldn't find the bank statements and he couldn't find canceled checks. Now you find a problem with that? I do find a problem with that. And I'm going to point out that the person responsible for all of this is Governor Wolf. Now I'm going to tell you a little something about Harrisburg, and I'm going to circle this area because I'm going to call this the swamp in Harrisburg. And I'm going to tell you something, this swamp needs to be drained and managed, and I am the only person on the horizon that has the qualifications to be the next governor to straighten this mess out. Now, if you care about your tax bills, you care about all this stuff you're being nickeled and dimed over, this is your opportunity to elect someone who has a lot of experience. I've built companies from scratch. I've employed lots of people, and today I employ over 600 people. I've created several thousand jobs. I've signed the front of paychecks. I've been through tough times. This requires somebody who has hands-on experience, not somebody that's just qualified or an expert in one specific area. You need someone that has a broad range of experiences to turn this mess around. The time is now. This is your opportunity. Check me out at wagnerforgov.com, but I'm telling you, what I know and what I see in Harrisburg makes me sick. And you should be angry too, because this mess right here is stealing money out of your wallets, and I'm going to do something about it. So it's your opportunity to elect me as the next governor.